Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor, and I am back with my monthly deep dive of Spider-Man in cinema. And this month, I'm talking about Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is Tom Holland's first solo outing as the Wall Crawler. Spider-Man: Homecoming takes place after Tom Holland made his debut as Spider-Man in Civil War, in which he's dealing with the events of that. After Tony Stark sends him off and tells him, "I'll call you if we need anything," months flies by and he's just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and just waiting on his opportunity to prove that he should be an Avenger. But Tony Stark, he keeps trying to tell him, like, just lay low to the ground. Meanwhile, Adrian Tubes, who is the Vulture, he starts selling used weapons from superhero incidents, and Peter Parker slash Spider-Man tries to investigate it. And he does that all while trying to keep his social life as Peter Parker intact. Now, I remember when Spider-Man Homecoming came out in 2017. 3 MCU movies came out that year, and that was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Thor Ragnarok. Now, I'll admit, Spider-Man Homecoming, I've been a little hard on over the years. In fact, out of those 3 movies that I just mentioned, it was my least favorite of the Marvel movies that came out that year. Yeah, under Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I know a lot of people wasn't a huge fan of, but whatever. But I was hard on it mainly because of what had came before it, and I've always felt like at least Tom Holland's first 2 movies, they felt more like MCU movies than they do Spider-Man movies. They're just movies that take place in the MCU that just happen to have Spider-Man in it, which I know that's the intent, but at the same time, be a Spider-Man movie first, be a Marvel movie second. Like, focus on the movie that's in front of you first instead of making it a setup for 50 million other things. That being said, my perspective on this movie has changed, especially in the context of everything that came out after this movie. I can appreciate how small scale this is, which was my problem with this movie at the time when I saw it for the first time, because I feel like Spider-Man movies, yes, he's street level and he's small scale in a way, but at the same time, there's this grandiose about Spider-Man that just comes with him getting his own movies, and I feel like this movie didn't really do that, but at the same time, it still worked as a solo Spider-Man movie because it was small scale, and that was the intent of the movie, to just bring Spider-Man down back to earth for a little bit. I do appreciate that they kind of bypass his origin story, because this was like the second Spider-Man reboot in 1 decade, and everybody and their mama knows how Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man. So let's just walk past that. Let's already have him hit the ground running as Spider-Man. I do like how Tony Stark is the mentor figure for Peter Parker, just to kind of bring him down. You know, he gave him the if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it speech. I know a lot of people at the time were worried about how much he would be in the movie, and honestly, he's used sparingly. And I do like Peter Parker's journey in this movie, in which he learns to just be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like everything else that comes with being a superhero, all that will come. But for right now, just focused on being a kid. Now, I don't remember if I've said this before, but like I said, I always felt like, well, Tobey Maguire, he'll always have a special place in my heart, but I always felt he played the best Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield played the best Spider-Man, and Tom Holland did a good job at both. When I see him as Spider-Man, I feel like I truly am watching a kid being a superhero, and he just has this overzealous energy about him that any teenager would have when they figure out, hey, I'm a superhero. I mentioned earlier, you have Adrian Toomes, who is the Vulture, and he's played magnificently by Michael Keaton, truly one of the best MCU villains. He is a family man that's just he's just trying to take care of his family by whatever means necessary. And the twist of when he finds out that he is the father of Peter Parker's crush, Liz, to me, that's when the movie went up truly a notch. You got Bokeem Can't Get Right Woodbine, who plays the second Shocker in this movie for a little bit, and he was fine. I just wanted to mention that because Bokeem Woodbine doesn't get enough flowers. Peter Parker's best friend in the movie, Ned, played by Jacob Batalon, which I thought was a bit of a choice. We're not doing Harry Osborn, but I get it. But I honestly like this character for Peter Parker in terms of best friends, because it's like they truly do feel like best friends that don't come with baggage. And once he finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, he's just excited. He's asking 50 million questions. Zendaya as Michelle Jones, or MJ, hey, make of that what you will. I know people had a lot of opinions about that, but me, I ain't tripping off of that. And I just don't think of this as the definitive MJ. This is just an MJ that takes place in the MCU. This is not your typical MJ. So let's just get that out the way. And plus, I am a fan of Zendaya. Though I do think she's better in the next two movies after this one, which here she's just a really dark humor, introvert type person that just brings the mood down for everybody. You got Marissa Tomei playing a young Aunt May. Yeah, she's young. I ain't complaining. I mean, Rosemary Harris will always have my heart as Aunt May, but I'm not complaining about a young Aunt May. And especially in context of the other movies that she's in, and just going back and watching this and just knowing what happens to her in a couple of movies from them, I'm like, ooh, bless your heart, dear. And besides, I love a young Aunt May because it just brings a type of energy and dynamic to her relationship with Peter Parker that was just never there in the other two iterations of Spider-Man in cinema. Overall, I'm not saying I never enjoyed this movie. I really do. It's just compared to some of the other Spider-Man movies, I just prefer those over this. But watching this with more focused and without the baggage of the other movies and just being able to sit back and just appreciate this movie for what it is and taking on its own terms, I actually like this movie a lot more in what it was trying to do, especially at the time when it came out. It was to not only reestablish Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but establish him in the MCU, and they did that. I'm going to give Spider-Man Homecoming just a little over half of a hard eyes emoji. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen Spider-Man Homecoming? Well, chances are you probably have, but if so, let me know what you think in the comments section below. Where does this movie fall with some of the other Spider-Man movies for you? This is your boy Bangful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.